show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to a wonderful Wednesday with your boys Anthony Young and Jeff Walsh. And again, this is the Drop Zone, brought to you by Doobie. It's been a wonderful, magical week. uh, I'm pretty sure some of you might have noticed that there is a new background color, and we'll get into that shortly. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I know you're doing good.
Oh, I'm wonderful.
You got a new background. You know, they did it. They actually did it. That's gonna be definitely our main topic of the day. I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if you could tell, but it is bright and sunny here in PA. We're actually getting some good weather, and it's not disgustingly hot. Like it's not any humid or anything. It's actually a kind of a nice day. But all in all, I'm doing very good. I mean, I know that you're doing good. So that entails means I'm doing good. So I know you're definitely happy and excited.
Yeah. I mean, the weather here is not too bad. I mean, it's a little bit bipolar because one week I was sweating my nuts off, and then now all of a sudden it's like, okay, I had to turn the fans off. I got the window open so I could get some fresh air because it's like the highest has been getting is like 65. It's been raining.
Yeah, same over here. Same over here. It like downpoured over the weekend, uh, which then kind of made it cooler, and it hasn't been really that hot. So.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't mind it not being hot. So I mean, this is like perfect weather for me. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you didn't need to sweat any more than what you were for your games 4 and 5. My goodness.
especially game four. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get right into it. That's what we're gonna jump right into. That is the big topic, of course. Uh, you guys won game 4 with the hand of God on your side. OG and Anobi with the tip in with 1.2 seconds left. But the big story was that you guys trailed by 29 points at one point in this game. The craziest part about it was watching it. When you guys were down, I was like, they're gonna come back and do it again, like they did against the Cavs. I just had that gut feeling. I'm like, I don't know, like Mike Brown is that kind of coach that just he says something at halftime and it just sparks your team. And it doesn't help with the Spurs playing absolutely stupid basketball.
Yes.
Having the notes that they went 14 for 26 on threes in the first half, which really killed you guys. But then the Spurs then went 3 for 17 in the second half. They would not stop shooting threes.
And what's my biggest pet peeve?
Mm-hmm. Can't shoot threes. And that was really their big downfall. And De'Aaron Fox with a big boneheaded play. I don't want to take up too much of the time because it is your team. It is your Knicks. I do want your opinion on it first, and I'll kind of jump back in when you're done. Again, you guys came back from an impossible deficit to win this game off of a incredible putback tip in by OG and Anobi.
Yeah. So I literally, when I was watching the game, and it went into halftime, I'm like, this has got to be a fucking joke. I'm like, there's no way in hell. I'm like, I know we're good. We've been, battle back all postseason from 20-point deficits. I'm like, but this is we was almost down by 30. And part of me was like, just turn the game off. But I just couldn't. Something told me just keep the game on. So I kept it on, and I'm sitting there watching and watching it. And fourth quarter gets here, and there's 7 minutes left, and we're still down by 20. I mean, yeah, we knocked it down, but we were still down by 20. And then all of a sudden, it's like San Antonio forgot basic rule 101 of basketball. You got a 20-point lead. You got 7 minutes left. You would have won the game. All you got to do is just get the ball in the paint, draw some fouls. You'll stop the Knicks run. But no, they wanted to continue shooting from 3-point range. Believe me, I wasn't mad. I was not mad whatsoever. I'm like, yes, keep missing. And then my worst nightmare happened because they flashed that bitch on TV. And I'm thinking, fuck, great. We lost Monday game because President Trump was there. And now my favorite person in the world is at a Knicks game. And I'm like, this can't be happening. And she was wearing a Knicks shirt, which even made it more puzzling because I'm pretty sure she's not a Knicks fan. But they kept fighting back, fighting back, fighting back. And then, I mean, they got it to within, literally, it was a 1-point game. Hart gets a steal. I'm thinking, yes, we're gonna go up by 2. We're gonna go up by 1. This will be perfect. And he was indecisive if he wanted to dunk the ball or lay it up. And I'm like, oh god, I've seen this happen before too. I'm like, this can't be happening. Not again. And then San Antonio, of course, missing free throws down the stretch. Hey, works out perfect for me again. And then Big Body Brunson was like, you know what? Me and OG, we're going to do this. The rest of you just set screens, get us open. We got this. Now, the one move that I did like that Mike Brown did, and I never even expected, I'm going to be honest, no Knick fan expected to see this, was he had Alvarado and Brunson on the floor at the same time, which basically just had the Spurs puzzled. They didn't know what to do. Jose hit some really big key threes. He got an assist for OG on a 3 where dangerous cross court pass, but hey, it got through. OG knocked down a 3. And then I'm like, all right, we're down by 1. Okay, Brunson gets the ball. And I don't know what Johnson was thinking by having Wembanyama, who I will speak about, after we talk about Game 5, because, yeah, I got some choice words for that bitch. Out on the perimeter to help guard trap Bronson, and Bronson, launched a 3, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is going in. This is on key. And it was just a little bit short, but there was OG with the lovely tipping. And then Cat sealed it by tipping the inbound pass, which made the pass come up short for Castle. And Hart and Robinson was both there to make sure he didn't get that shot off. I was worried that they was going to call a foul, but they swallowed the whistle, and I was like, yes. I mean, that was the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history, coming back from 29 points down to win the game, and it was just at that point. I think they pretty much snatched the soul of the Spurs. But again, the Spurs are young. They wasn't there. They haven't been really battle tested for the playoffs, especially getting this deep into the playoffs. Whereas, I mean, yeah, the Knicks aren't really battle tested, but they have veterans who have played in the finals. So, some of them are battle tested. And Coach Mike Brown, he's won 4 championships as an assistant coach. So he's battle tested and he made some great moves down the stretch. You know, yeah, but yeah, game 4 was one of the games I'm saying, like, I'm like, is this real? I'm sitting there pinching myself to make sure it's real.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I was home watching it again. I was like, just kind of watching it. You could kind of see the Knicks still had it. They didn't really fully cave in or give up. It was just the Spurs just kept making threes, but you could see there was kind of a little bit of life, and they kept fighting back, fighting back. Again, they got it within 20. I was like, all right. And then Brunson just went on a run there in the fourth, like he always does. And I, I know people at the beginning of the season was like, "Oh, was Mike Brown the right hire?" I think we got our answer because again, him putting in Jose with Brunson, like you said, kind of confused or uh, made the Spurs just kind of mismatched in certain ways and not be able to know how to guard each one of them. To work, and
Well,
Jose made some
not
clutch
to
threes.
not to cut you off real quick, but that was the first time that he actually had them on the court together,
Hmm.
and they was a plus 21 in those that last 7 minutes.
Yeah, like he just or he knew like what strings to pull at the right time and like who to have in the game at the right time because there was times where he would not have Josh Hart in the game. He would have Landry Shamet in the game. He did the Jose and Jalen Brunson move. It was just a contrast of halves. Yeah, when Josh Hart missed that layup, I was like, damn, that was your guys' chance. I was like, damn, like that was like right there, your guys' chance. Uh, Spurs won. Sorry, I'm gonna keep calling back to this play because De'Aaron Fox should be investigated for point shaving. Uh, because that was an all-time just
Bonehead play.
bonehead play, but he played like garbage in the entire second half, and they made him look really, really suspect with some of the shots he was taking, some of the turnovers he had, and the final dumb play was going for that layup for no reason when they were winning by 1 already, with about 20 some seconds left.
I mean,
And
to some point, not to cut you off, I kind of can understand why he went for the layup. I mean, he was based. I mean, there was nobody in front of him, but at the same time, you got to, especially as a point guard, you got to know basketball situations. And he was the veteran point guard on that team. Even though, yeah, he is 28, he's still young, but compared to the rest of the team, he was the veteran point guard. And like you say, he should have just grabbed it, pulled it out, forced the Knicks to foul him and run more time off the clock. But he didn't. He went for the layup, got blocked by Anunoby. Hey, which again, I'm not going to complain about.
No, I know you're not, but it's just something I want to talk about. It's just, again, situational awareness is a big part of the NBA. And no offense, but you could tell he played in Sacramento all his career because of making a play like that. Who has not made it to the NBA Finals or the playoffs that often or that much, to where plays like that don't matter. But that was the biggest, one of the biggest plays of the game, obviously, than the OG tip in. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, your Knicks pulled it out of the gutters, and like you said, kind of took the soul in the fight out of the Spurs for Game 5. And I was like, I don't really think it matters if the Spurs are at home or not. I think that the Knicks are going to come out and just win it on the Spurs court, which sucks because I really would have wanted to see it happen in the Garden. That would have been a crazy win in the Garden for if you guys won the championship there. But doing it at the Spurs home court with everything that Wemby did this series, uh, definitely probably felt really good for everybody.
I'm not going to lie. Part of me wanted it to go back to the Garden, but at the same time, knowing how our track record has been, especially with the finals, I wanted it done as over as fast as possible. I didn't want to take any more chances because remember in '94 the same thing happened. We was up 3-1. Houston, well, we was up 3-2, and Houston ended up winning game 6 and 7. And I'm thinking, no, we cannot have this happen again. So yeah, I'm glad they won. Ended it in 5. To win it on our home court, it would have been sweet. But again, I didn't want them to take a chance.
Yeah, once I saw that they had Scotty Foster ref in the Game 5, I was like, oh, they're going to do everything in their power to make it go Game 6. But as we all know, your Knicks did not let that happen. They won 94-90. Uh, it was pretty much the Jalen Brunson show. Um, there will be a statue of him uh, when it's all said and done in New York, no doubt. OG had 11, Towns only had 2 points, and he fouled out. Um, Hart had 13, Mikal Bridges had 14, and Jalen Brunson with a big 45 points, 29 points in the second half, 14 to 27, 4 of 7 from 3, 13 of 15 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, and 2 steals. Absolutely carried you guys to the win. One Finals MVP, of course. It's really crazy that he won a title before Luka. Given the fact they were both on the same team there in Dallas. But I mean, you guys really just kind of dominated this whole playoff run. And the stat is crazy that you guys only led for 50 some minutes of the entire finals, and the Spurs led for the other 72 or 76% of the whole finals, and they lost 4-1. Yeah, game 6 was again another great game.
You mean game 5?
Fox, yeah, game 5. Sorry, De'Aaron Fox only had 7 points. Again, he should be investigated for the abysmal play. Dylan Harper outplayed him mightily, and he was a rookie. He will become a very big problem in the league. He had a great playoffs, but then also a great finals. He finished with 25 points, 10 of 19 shooting. So he will be a huge problem there in San Antonio. But yeah, you guys won. I will let you take it away because you guys won for the first time in 53 years.
So, I want to go back to Game Four real quick on something that Charles Barkley said, and I mean, if anybody knows Charles Barkley, he was one of the biggest Knicks haters there was, and I mean, he flat out said that the Spurs was doing some of the dumbest things down the stretch, but the biggest compliment that he gave to Brunson and Anobi, I don't know if you heard it. He said those two was basically for that night Jordan and Pippen. It was get us the ball, get out the way, we got this. And now we're going on to Game Five. Um, I was still nervous a little bit because once again, and Brunson said it the best. You know, the game started at 8:30, but we didn't show up to 9, which is basically what has happened throughout the entire playoffs, with the exception of the closeout game in Atlanta, where they just ran away from Atlanta from Jump Street. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you look at the way this team was playing compared and the way the Spurs were playing, you could tell that the Knicks had more trust in each other than the Spurs had in than the Spurs did in each other. And part of that is, Coach Johnson's fault because I don't know how you could have your, especially a star player, basically play like 29 minutes during a regular season and then get into the playoffs and bump them up to 40. He basically just ran out of gas. Came the fourth quarter, the Knicks knew it and took advantage of it. In fact, the entire team did because that's not how he was playing them during the regular season. And then again in the playoffs, he's pushing them over 40 minutes, and they basically wasn't physically ready for that. Now, I mean, Carl Anthony Towns got to work on staying out of foul trouble. That's the biggest thing for at least especially for next season. But yeah, overall, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When that buzzer said 0-0, I was in tears because the drought was over. You know, after 53 years, the title was back home in New York. So yeah, I was yeah.
Yeah, no, you were texting me. I was at work with a guy that's from New York, grew up in New York, watching Knicks games, watching all the struggling Knicks teams. So with the Melo, Amari, JR, to then when you guys go to the teams with Kristaps Porzingis, Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, all these other teams that just weren't that great, but they just had to kind of throw them together to the fact that you guys were able to actually pull it off and reached it to the top of the mountain with a guy like Jalen Brunson, who is very well liked, very well respected. He never is too cocky or he's very humble. He doesn't speak too highly of himself. Um, and the way that you guys did it, just showing resilience this entire series. Um, I mean, in the playoffs, you guys really had a good dominant run. I mean, at one point, what you guys won like 13 or like whatever, how many games in a row?
Yeah, 13 in
Um,
a row.
it was just an incredible run. Uh, and I think people are definitely uh saying that, oh, the hiring of Mike Brown was the right choice. You know, there was a lot of uh questions and uh doubts, you know, letting go of Tom Thibodeau uh and hiring Mike Brown, but that was clearly the right choice. And just again, I couldn't be happy for the Knicks fans, even though they're doing some very dumb stuff there in New York, celebrating. Um, I shouldn't have to say it. You shouldn't have to say it, but please don't damage other people's stuff while you're celebrating. Please just enjoy the win, enjoy the celebration, but don't ruin other people's lives for it. Um,
I just want to touch on that real quick. And those fans that actually was doing that dumb shit were basically all, and I'm not gonna call them Nick fans because to me they was just using that as an excuse to try to get away with dumb shit, and it was all young. All those who got all into all those altercations were all under 30. And that's really sad because stuff like that should never have taken place. And it forces, other fans of, look at Knicks fans as like, okay, you guys don't know how to act. No, it was all those youngsters that was all under 30 that was doing that dumb shit. The ones that don't even know anything about the Nick culture.
yeah, it made me really like this series. Really, again, there was videos of fans literally attacking Spurs fans, in New York just because they were in a different jersey. Um, we talked about this I think last week on the or
Yeah, we
on the
did.
podcast. Like
Throwing eggs at Wimbyama and the Spurs players when they got to their hotels. That's all
mhm,
uncalled for.
yeah, like you wouldn't do that if say they found out who threw it and like, all right, Victor, you and this guy have 30 seconds to just fight. Go ahead. You wouldn't do that because they feel protected and they feel safe. The whole partying and or I mean not the partying and stuff, but you know, the celebrating after the finals win. Um again, you could celebrate, you can have a good time, but don't ruin it for other people. I saw a story about or I heard about a story about a taxi driver got his taxi destroyed, like absolutely destroyed. Um
And Jalen Brunson bought him a brand new taxi.
mhm, I, I think Brunson did, and I think there was like a GoFundMe for it or something. Um and they raised $25,000 for a new taxi. Like, don't ruin other people's lives celebrating, or don't ruin your own life. Sure, you're gonna have to spend time in jail, um, celebrating. You can celebrate responsibly without harming yourself or others.
I
Um,
agree.
shouldn't have to be saying it. You could be excited, you could be happy for your team, but just be smart and be respectful to others, which is something that is lost um, in the world today. I don't want to sound like an old person, but it really is. It's lost in the world uh, more and more each day. But again, congrats to the Knicks uh, and you who've waited pretty much an entire lifetime to see this happen. Um, but yeah, you guys actually did it. I was like, wow, they've done it. They actually reached the mountaintop, and let's see if they can go do it again. Um, it's funny they have the fourth best odds to win the title next year. I'm like, how are they not the favorite? Like every other team who wins it is then the favorite, and they're not. Um,
Not because they're going by the fact that for the past well, now in the past 8 years, there hasn't been a repeat champion.
and I think as long as you guys don't blow this team up to get uh, a player we're going to talk about now, I think you guys will be fine. A lot of teams tend to win the championship and then blow the team up, which doesn't make any sense to me. But I mean, you guys have a core that can win it. We've seen that can win it, and they genuinely enjoy playing basketball with each other. So, yeah. And the part to talk about is Giannis, of course. The Giannis trade rumors are heating up. Uh, he wants to go to Miami. Boston is in the mix. To me, the Thunder, to me, if they really wanted him, they could go get him, and there'd be nobody in the league who can offer better. Because I think Chet, as we saw in this playoff run, cannot hang with Victor Wembanyama. Uh,
Yeah, I got a few choice words for that bitch too.
oh yeah, we could talk about that. We could say that. Again, he did not shake hands at the end of Game 5. Um, along with the Spurs, but with how he played and a decent amount of his fouls that he had there in this finals run were very questionable and very uncalled for. You can have your choice words. It's kind of probably a mini rant for you once again on Victor Wembanyama, but you could definitely go ahead.
Well, I'm just basically gonna part of it is I'm gonna quote what Draymond Green said because and Draymond Green pretty much hit it right on the nail. After he apologized to Brunson and stuff and the rest of the Knicks, um, he said that because Wembanyama's from Europe, a lot of the European players are dirty players. Which, if you think about it, somewhat it is true. And a lot of people were saying, "Well, Draymond, you're like the same way." Um, I will defend Draymond Green on this. Draymond Green is not. Yes, he has done some dirty things, but he's not a dirty player. He retaliates to plays that if basically hurt the Steph or one of the key guys, Draymond's gonna go and retaliate. So that doesn't make him dirty. He's basically the enforcer of the team. He was like what Charles Barkley was. He was like what Charles Oakley was. Dennis Rodman. Those guys. Basically they was saying you're not gonna you know mush our star player down to the ground and stuff like that. Now I know a lot of people say, well, Wembanyama's young. He's only 22, but that's still no excuse for having sportsmanship. Now they've been debating, that whole topic for the last 2 days, and part of me agrees with it. It's a kind of stupid tradition to shake your hand after a team basically just beat your ass, but at the same time, it is professional. Just to say, hey, good game. Nobody's asking them to hang out. Like I don't agree with the jersey swapping and stuff like that. You know, but when I was playing organized sports, whether we won or lost, we was basically taught, walk by, shake the hands, whether you like them or not. You don't have to say anything. You just shake the hand and just keep moving, keep it pushing. With him, he basically, especially towards in the press conference, um, he was kind of like just dismissive during a press conference when they was asking him questions, and he finally got up. He got aggravated, got up and walked away and said, one of the reporters asked him a question, and he said never, and just walked away. So I mean, it shows that he still needs some growing up to do. But at the same time, like I said, I could understand, not wanting to shake hands, but be professional about it. Because we seen what happened with Isaiah Thomas when they did that with the Bulls. That has followed him his entire career, and people still bring that up. So I mean, yes, I know they're trying to make Wembanyama the face of the league, which okay, if you want to do that, that's on you. I mean, basically, you're marketing them towards the European market, but at the same time, somebody needs to sit him down and say, hey, if you're going to be the face of the league, this is what you have to do. You can't embarrass the league the way he just did. I mean, hell, Jeff, you're not old enough to remember this, but the Knicks and Bulls hated each other. But after every game, you know, they shook hands and walked, went the opposite way. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah, obviously the teams aren't going to like each other, but there's to a point of a sign of respect. Like you have to respect the other person on the other side. Again, some of the fouls that would be committed to me just pointed signs at being a sore loser. Um, and that's pretty much what it culminated up to with not
Just being a
shaking
spoiled
hands.
brat.
hmm It's like again, I'm not asking you to be on the floor for their trophy presentation and singing fucking kumbaya with them, but like show the sign of respect. Um, Draymond did say a good quote of like, "Hey, look your look your defeater in the eye or something. Like just look him in the eye, like look him in the face, and just have the courage and the okay with all to just be like, hey, you beat us. Congrats. Walk away. I don't. Again, I'm not saying that you have to exchange jerseys and shit with them. I do kind of am kind of sick of the jersey swap. The only thing I could understand is if they went to high school or they went to college together in the NBA and they're in the NBA now and they want to swap jerseys. I'm okay with that, but just random jersey swaps kind of don't make sense to me. But yeah, Victor just kind of again, I didn't mind him going into the series, but after the series, I've really kind of started to not like him in the antics that he has. If he didn't win or wasn't winning, it's not a good look for him. And again, people are going after the entire team. I don't really have a problem with the entire team because there's really no dirty plays other than what Victor did. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just not a good look, like you said. It followed Isaiah Thomas when he did it against the Bulls. And this could possibly follow him if he continues to act like this in the coming years, to where people will just keep looking back and be like, oh, he's been showing it for this long, and it just keeps getting worse.
I mean, I agree. I mean, yes, we all get it. You know, he's only 22, first time in the finals and stuff like that. You know, that's completely understandable. But at the same time, you 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 can't come off as being a spoiled brat, which is what basically what he's doing. He's coming off as being a dirty spoiled brat, and the league basically was protecting him, and everybody's seen it. You know, he should have been he should have had four flagrant fouls already. Well, four flagrant foul points after the elbow to Cat. That should have been his fourth point. But because the league was trying to protect him, and of course, they want to try to milk as much money out of the networks as they can, that they was just basically turning the blind eye. Um, and even if he okay, they turned the blind in game three. Okay, well then he still should have picked up another flagrant when he put his foot under Jalen Brunson's foot when he was coming down. That's an automatic flagrant foul. And again, the refs was like, "Okay, we're gonna have to act like we didn't see this because we're trying to push this to game six, cause so the league could win more money." And the Knicks was like, "Fuck this, we're not gonna stand out here, let this guy try to hurt us and stuff like that. Let's end this now." Because did you see the when he basically almost tried to kick Ananobi in his knee?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying about all the kind of dirty and the sore loser kind of stuff that was going on. It was like, all right, I can't beat them. Let me try and hurt them to where it'll give us a better chance of winning. Um, yeah, he was doing some dirty plays throughout the entire series. So again, he's got to learn. He's got to grow up and hope that this doesn't follow him throughout his whole career. Um,
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is.
oh yeah. Uh, More NBA news: Chicago is hiring former Portland Trailblazers interim head coach Thiago Splitter as their new head coach. This is to me a good hiring. Thiago was put as the head coach by the Trailblazers when the whole Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier stuff happened. Uh, a lot last year at the beginning of the season, and you see how well the Trailblazers did. Yes, they lost in the playoffs to the Spurs, but at least put up a good fight, a better fight than I really expected. I expected it to be a sweep, but it was actually a quite competitive series. So Chicago's getting a great. I think I know that they were happy with the player the development side of Thiago. And he's just kind of been working his way up through in the ranks, uh, in the coaching way. So, yeah, Chicago hiring him, I think that's a very good hire for them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really don't have anything on. It's just funny that hearing that Tiago Splitter is on the coaching staff, especially when Stephen A. Smith used to make fun of his name, Tiago Splitter.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Giannis, all the trade rumors are kind of really coming about. Heat are throwing their names out there. The Celtics are out there. Um, Possibly Jalen Brown will be moved in this. Um, if it does happen again, we will talk about it next week. But I don't talk about too much because again, it's all rumors and it could be dragged out all off season. But
I'm sure it's going to be.
oh yeah, but yeah. I guess we'll find out what happens with that. We'll go into the NFL news. Sadly, former NFL defensive lineman Aldon Smith has passed away at the age of 36. Um, this came as an absolute shock and just sadness is all I could put. He was a very good D lineman for the Niners, where he was very well known. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. With this kind of shocking and surprising loss at such a young age, at only 36.
Yeah, I was stunned when I got the notification across my phone. Oh, excuse me. Across my phone about it. I was like, I had to go back and read it again. I was like, did I read that correctly? And yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, I was completely, stunned by it. And our prayers and thoughts go out to his family and everybody else.
Um, the only other fun news we got is that the Jets have signed their guard Cho Tepman to a 4-year, 66.4, $34.9 million guaranteed extension. And Cam Jordan stays with the New Orleans Saints for another year. But the last topic we got for today. Tony's smiling. I'm annoyed. We got the dummies of the week. 2 dummies of the week, and one of them is one of my least favorite players in the NBA. We'll talk about him first, then go into the biggest dummy of the week, because this guy is a minor dummy compared to the other one that we have to talk about.
Gotta agree with that.
James motherfucking Harden. He was arrested in Houston for unlawful carrying of a weapon.
You heard that correctly.
How many goddamn times am I gonna have to come on here and tell these players stay away from guns? You can have them. That's fine. You do not need to bring them everywhere. At that point, just bring a security guard who has a gun permit who can carry it. Because this is just stupid. I understand you want to try and protect yourself, but again, if you do not have a gun license to where you can carry it, do not have it.
I want to say he did have it, but I don't think he had it present on him. But then again, I could be wrong.
I mean, he's an absolute idiot.
I ain't gonna argue with that. Now, who's your other dummy of the week?
Hold on, I'm trying to read more of the James Harden crap. The arrest occurred at approximately 3:41 a.m. local time on Saturday morning when officers stopped Harden for an unspecified traffic violation. During the routine stop, responding law enforcement officers reported seeing a handgun positioned in plain sight directly on a vehicle seat. Authorities said the firearm was not secured in a holster as required under Texas law, leading to the 36-year-old being charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Following his arrest, Harden was booked into a local jail, securing his release on a $100 bond. As a part of the condition set by the court, he was barred from possessing firearms, ammunition, and similar weapons. He was also ordered to undergo random drug testing and prohibited from using alcohol, marijuana, or other controlled substances. And now, could be the dummy of the year. I know we're halfway through it. We'll see if this holds true. Is Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper. He was arrested 2 times this week. And I will read everything that ESPN has on it. The Denver Broncos linebacker, he will face 2 additional charges, including a felony charge of second-degree assault from his latest arrest this week in Parker, Colorado. Cooper originally faced misdemeanor domestic violence charges and pleaded not guilty Monday, but the records show Cooper will now also face a second charge of second-degree assault by strangulation and an additional misdemeanor charge of third-degree assault, knowingly or recklessly causing bodily injury. The charges were announced in court Wednesday. He is scheduled to have a motions hearing July 6th. He's expected to open training camp in late July. Cooper was arrested along with his girlfriend on June 4th. He was released on June 5th on a personal reconnaissance bond. Just according to records, Cooper was arrested after an argument, physical confrontation between Cooper and his girlfriend over cell phones, and that the phones were damaged during the argument. In separate affidavits to police, the two gave vastly different accounts of the argument and confrontation. According to Cooper's arrest, he had been confronted by his girlfriend over allegations of infidelity. After Cooper's girlfriend had taken his cell phone from him and thrown it across the room, Cooper had grabbed her by the upper arm and retrieved the phone. Cooper told police he had braced his neck against her neck during the attempt to use his phone. But yeah, just stupid. I mean, to get arrested twice in 1 week, that's impressive on itself. But he's gonna get additional charges add on to it. It looks like he might be trying to lie or their girlfriend trying to lie. Don't know, but that is my dummy of the week. Again, I don't know how many times I have to go on here and say to players, hey, keep your hands to yourself. Do not hit women. Do not even come close to touching women in a threatening way. But people still do it, and I swear to God, they do it on purpose at this point. But yeah, that's my 2 dummies of the week.
Yeah, they're definitely dummies. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. It did bring me joy seeing that James Harden got arrested. Yeah. It brought me great joy seeing that James Harden got arrested, that's for sure.
Yeah, when I got that, I knew I had to send that to you.
Because I hate him. I do not like him at all. It's like, there you go, you idiot. Again, there's other solutions of how to keep yourself protected when you're going out in public. And that is not one of them. So, whatever.
Oh, just one last thing. For those of you who won't be in New York for the Knicks parade tomorrow, the parade will be televised. and it's going to be at 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I will be up early for that.
Everyone in New York, please stay safe. Please just be mindful of others. Again, please.
Give me 1 second, and I can tell you by what channel it's going to be on. Um, Because I know it's not going to be on ESPN. I want to say it's going to be on NBA TV. NBC. It's going to be on NBC. NBC SN.
Yeah, it's on MSG Network, ABC 7, New York, NBC 4. If you're not local, you could still stream it on Disney Plus, Peacock, or the NOAC.gov from anywhere.
Yep. So yeah, I'll be up for that in the morning. Okay. And I think we have the NBA draft is at next week, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I do not know. Let me see. June 22nd. Yep.
Yep, next week. It's gonna be 2 nights, which I don't understand why they need to make it 2 nights. It's only two fucking rounds.
Well, it looks like you have a fellow Nick fan who just made a comment. Rebby's alive, Knicks in 5. That's right. Knicks
Yep,
in 5.
we took it in 5. Got anything else, brother?
No, I don't have anything else. No. It was very quiet week other than the Knicks doing it for the first time in 53 years. Um, Hopefully we don't gotta wait another 53 years for it to happen again.
Well, if I gotta wait another 53 years, I'm not gonna see the next 53 years. We did it in my 49 years, so I'm good. I'm good. Who's going number one in the draft? Um,
Could say probably AJ DeBonsta,
that's what I was
probably.
thinking. The forward from BYU.
mock drafts real quick. Mm. I mean, again, I'll go AJ Debonsa. To me, him, Cam Boozer is another good one.
Darren Patterson's another good one too. The guard from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's at least I want to say 4 players that possibly could go number one. Because
Yeah,
I said
right
Cameron
now,
Boozer,
yeah, ESPN is
and
thinking
then
that the Wizards are going to pick AJ Debonsa first.
Caleb Wilson's another one I could possibly go first. But I'm thinking AJ's going number one overall. All right, so let's wrap this up. And here's a word from our partners. This is your sign to stop drinking mid-energy. Still sipping on weak fuel that leaves you crashing 30 minutes later? Embarrassing. Enter Doobie, the energy that doesn't play nice. Clean, mean, built to keep you locked in while everyone else crashes and burns. No jitters, no crash, just smooth, relentless energy that hits like a wake-up call you can't ignore. One scoop and suddenly you're outworking everyone. Your focus is razor sharp and excuses gone. Let's be real. You don't need another basic drink. You need something that keeps up with you. Doobie, stay wired, stay winning, stay dangerous. And just remember, if you ever go to Doobie to get something from us, you can always use our promo code DropZone and get 10% off your total order. I think Darius Akuf is the next Jalen Brunson. I mean, only time will tell.
It's a bold statement, but
Like I said, only time can tell. So that's it for the night, folks. Remember, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, notification so you know when we're on. And make sure you give us some likes. It's like there's a hair on my face. So until next week, we'll see everybody next week.
see ya.